our next guest is a Tony-nominated actress who starred as the sassy Velma in the hit musical Chicago. Now for her second act, she's helping men look their best with her grooming business.
Well, here to talk about her life on the big stage, what every man should have in his toolkit, and her new show, Cougar the Musical, is Brenda Braxton.
Yes, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
Okay, let's just set the record straight. You're not related to the Braxton
No
sisters.
relation.
Okay, no relation.
No relation.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't know if you were a lost sister.
No, no relation
goodness.
whatsoever.
Okay, no relation.
Okay, now that we've cleared that up, it's clear that you do not need the Braxtons because you're a star in your own right.
Well, thank
and you're now the leading lady in the off-Broadway play Cougar the Musical.
Yeah.
Now, what is it about?
Cougar the Musical is about 3 women in different parts of their life. One is divorced, one owns a cougar bar, and one is going back to school.
What is a cougar bar?
A cougar bar.
Where they go,
I know, no. Her cougar bar is just some place where younger men come and older women come, and they get to know each other and possibly go out on dates and things like that.
Oh.
But it's a very interesting, it's an interesting show because it's about so much more than older women and younger men. And what I love about it is that it makes us out to be human beings, you know what? And sometimes that's the journey that you have, that you like younger men, and that it's okay to like younger men. And it's funny because my character is the one that hates the word cougar, hates
Really?
it, just hates it. And then she ends up being the cougar.
Oh.
I probably shouldn't tell you that, but
spoiler
yeah,
alert.
I know.
I love it.
But it's a wonderful show, yeah.
How do you feel about the word cougar?
I love it.
Okay.
Watch out now.
I'm sorry, where did I just go? I'm sorry.
Are you a cougar?
I am, and proud of it.
So how much younger is your man?
I don't have a man, but if I did,
But she did, he'd be young.
he would. He'd be
Okay,
young.
good to know.
I'm very choosy.
You're very choosy.
Very choosy.
Right. I like it. Well, Cougar's been receiving rave reviews. What do you think it is about this play that is drawing audiences?
Well, I think it's the whole spirit of the play. It's not just about dating a younger man. It's about the different aspects of your life when you're over 40 or over 50, and that sometimes you don't know which way your life is going to go.
Right.
You know, sometimes you've been married a couple of times, and all you need is just a moment away from that, and being a cougar sometimes is that moment. But it's also about opening up the whole consciousness of women over 40, and that it's okay if this is what you want to do. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that women are becoming more comfortable with the idea of dating.
course.
There used to be a stigma attached to it, but now
course.
women seem to be embracing it.
Exactly. We have a line in the show that says, "What do you call an older man who dates a younger woman? He's called man." But then when you say an older woman who's dating a younger guy, you gotta go, oh, a cougar or this or that.
Right.
But she's a woman. That's what she is.
All right, she's
See
a
what I'm
woman.
saying?
I like that. Well, you're doing great in that play, but let's talk a little bit about your beginnings. You first debuted on Broadway in 1976 in the all-black cast of Guys and Dolls.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yes.
How groundbreaking was that for Broadway and for your career at that time?
It was wonderful, but it was also a period where Bubbling Brown Sugar was on Broadway, and it was that whole era. And then all of a sudden it died down again, and then it came back up with Dreamgirls, which I also did the original Dreamgirls with Jennifer Holliday and all those people.
at you.
So, but it was a wonderful time because I actually went to an open call, and it was like 200 people, and they were only looking for one woman and one guy. And I was a nervous wreck. I remember I stood up on the stage. That's when they still auditioned at the theater. And I remember the song I sang was, "What the world needs now is love."
Keep going, keep
I know,
going.
and I think back on that, I was, what, 18,
Wow.
19 years old? But it was amazing to work with Robert Guillaume and Ken Page and people like that. But that was my introduction, you know, to Broadway. It was great.
And you were just up there belting your little heart out.
Belting for Billy Wilson at the Broadway Theater.
So you went on to be nominated for a Tony for Smokey Joe's Cafe. What was that experience like for you, and how did it
my
change the
God.
trajectory of your career?
It was wonderful. You know, your life when you're an actor, there are ups and downs and lefts and rights and everything. And this was a little show that I thought, oh, okay, we'll do this show. And then they said, oh, we're going to Broadway. I was like, okay, we'll go to Broadway. because it was just songs, you know.
Right.
And when I was nominated, I was like, oh my God, this is what everybody looks forward to. So it changed the trajectory only in the sense that it took me from being a chorus person to being a leading lady.
Yes.
And that was amazing. And I actually have a nonprofit called Leading Ladies Just for Teens. And that came out of Smokey Joe's Cafe as well.
Okay.
But it was wonderful working with the 7 people that I was with. And we kind of developed the whole thing to the point where even the characters' names are our names. So when they say they're looking for Brenda Braxton, it's Brenda in the show. So yeah.
Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And you were also the leading lady, in which I remember Lola and I both saw you in, was Chicago,
Yeah.
the
Oh
famous,
my
ever
God.
wonderful jailbird Velma Kelly.
Yes.
And I
I
think it's
just kept
amazing.
thinking to myself, this woman's body is insane.
Fierce.
I mean,
Thank you.
goodness. And those costumes are not forgiving.
Oh, no, they're not.
Yeah.
Everything is out to Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't believe you actually are the longest running person who has played in that play.
I was the
That
longest. In
character.
2009, I was the longest running Velma Kelly.
Wow,
on
6
Broadway.
years you did it. So what do you think is so amazing about that character and about that play that still makes it relevant and loved today?
Well, it's about love. It's about unrequited love. It's about murder. It's
Yes.
about how in the courtroom so many times stories are sensationalized to a point where it's like, real? Are you really talking about that? And people get off. You know, Velma and Roxy, they ended up getting off. But the show itself is just put together so well.
Right.
The Weislers have put together, and Walter Bobby has put together a show that, for one thing, we only have 2 costumes, which is a beautiful thing. It's a low budget, you know, as far as the how much it costs. But the choreography, Fosse choreography, is brilliant. The music is wonderful. The staging is wonderful. And what they've done, they've actually plugged stars into the show, which has kept it going.
Wendy
you know,
Williams is gonna be
it's
on
getting ready
this
to be
summer.
on it. And I was
Exactly.
able to do it with Usher, with Rita Wilson, you know. So in my 6 years, I was able to just have an amazing time in that show.
That's so nice. What's your favorite Velma Kelly number?
All That Jazz, of course.
And
That's
all
an
that
entrance of life. That entrance is just the best.
So with all the success you were having on Broadway, why did you decide to move into the male grooming business? And how did that happen?
Well, I think when you're in theater or an actor, you're always thinking about, okay, what can I do to stabilize my life as well? And I'm a great believer of it'll come. You know, if you think about it, God will put it in your life and it'll come. So at the time I was married and living in Harlem, and my husband and I were reading an article, a magazine article, and it was about this couple who had just gotten together, and they were going out to dinner, and it was summertime, and he put on a pair of sandals. And she was like, no. So they started talking. They started talking about it, and he said he wouldn't mind going to a salon to have his nails done, but he didn't want to go to a women's salon. So my husband and I were like, wow, you know, Harlem is up and coming, and why don't we do something like, it's almost old-fashioned, where you go back to the hot towel shaves and the manicures and the pedicures in a male environment. So I got the ball rolling in 2006. And it was funny because at the time I was doing Chicago, and I would be on the phone. Yeah, no, I want the marble. I want the marble. And then I go, hold on a minute, and I would
you're like,
go,
all that jazz.
exactly. I would come back.
Yeah.
Great
Exactly.
multitasker.
Italian marble.
Exactly. Multitasking. You
That's
know?
good.
So we just got the ball rolling, and
And it seemed like everything was going great with your business, but then I know I've heard you talk about this before, that it felt like at some point the red carpet was pulled from under you,
Yes.
and everything in your life started to crumble.
Exactly.
What happened?
Well, Chicago wasn't calling me anymore. My husband and I were in the middle of a divorce. I had to close the shop for a year. I had to sell my house, my home, everything, because I had literally used my home to build the business.
Right.
You know, I refinanced so that I could do the build out and everything. And all of a sudden, I wasn't Brenda Braxton anymore. I was just this person who had a business, had a husband, had a house, and now didn't have it. So I closed the business, and I said, okay, well, let me try and revamp. Sold the house, moved to a smaller, you know, downsized and everything. Prayed A lot. A lot. And I was telling someone today, the hardest thing was watching my mother's face as she looked at me, because I was
Why?
devastated.
Did you feel like you disappointed her?
I felt like I disappointed the family, you know, because one of the biggest things as an African American is getting your own home, having your own business. And at that time, everything was gone. Absolutely everything. And I looked at my mother's face, and I know she wanted to say something. She wanted to make it better, you know, make the boo-boo better.
Yeah.
But there was nothing she could do. There was nothing I could do. So I just took a year to try and get myself together. And thank God he brought another investor on board to help me with the shop. I also had one of my old barbers stayed with me, Gary Clark, God bless him. He stayed with me and said, "That's all right, B." At one point, we were cutting hair out of my house.
Wow.
It was quite devastating.
But now you're back.
We're back.
And better than ever.
That's right.
Let's talk
good.
about your
Yes.
Grooming salon. And
Oh,
let's
my
talk
God.
about, well,
Yes.
Father's Day is right around the corner.
Yes, it
Exactly.
is.
So you're right here at a perfect time.
Yes, it is.
Father's
And
Day gifts. I haven't gotten my dad anything.
Uh-oh.
Give me some ideas,
Well,
yeah, what do you
Miss Brenda
suggest?
Braxton.
one idea is a gift card from B. Braxton.
Okay.
Of course.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
He will be in town, so that's an option.
There you go. So we
Okay.
have a gift card from B. Braxton's. But then I have a couple of things. One thing that I don't have with me, but I had gotten, and this is funny, I had gotten Usher's shower gel in a gift bag. And I was like, yeah, all right. I know Usher, you know. And I started using it, and it was for men, but I was like, well, let me use it. It smells so good.
Really?
And when I went
Okay.
to look at the ingredients
down.
of, you know, the scents and things like that, there's pineapple in it, which I've never really seen. There's pineapple oil. I've never really seen
Okay.
it. So get your Usher
Bath gel.
Usher bath gel.
What else you got?
Then we also have, I'm a great believer, I have a lot of bald men that come into
Okay.
B. Braxton.
Okay.
And what gentlemen don't realize is that you have got to put sunblock on your head. When you
That's so
go
true.
out to golf or whatever,
okay.
you've got to make sure that. So we have Neutrogena has a wonderful sunblock,
Nice.
and they have different, you know, SPFs, and so that's something
Okay,
you can
so
get.
sunblock for the dome.
Sunblock for the dome.
Okay.
And then at B. Braxton's, we love the art of shaving.
Of
And this
course.
is a wonderful little kit. Where are we?
Oh, I love it.
Get that?
Okay, where's your camera?
There.
There we go.
Here's my
There you go.
camera.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful little kit, and it's the 4 elements of a wonderful shave, of the perfect shave. And in here, you get your sandalwood pre-shave oil. You even get a little shave brush, you know, something
Everything
like that.
you need.
Everything you need.
Okay, and what's
So we have
next
that.
on the list?
And next on the list, this is something that we also have at the shop from Red Envelope. And sometimes when gentlemen are traveling, they don't always have the best, you know, kind of travel
That's true.
kits. So
Oh,
this
that's
is something.
adorable.
Isn't it?
Stylish,
It's
too.
very
I love that.
stylish.
That is so cute.
What comes in the travel pack?
In this, it's just where he can put his rings,
Oh, your cufflinks, all that
cufflinks,
stuff.
and all of that. And it has
That's
so
adorable.
Those are a couple
I
of
love
things.
that. Okay, I'll be giving all those things to my father
Yes.
this weekend.
There you go.
Great
Thank you.
Thank you,
So where
Brenda
can we
Braxton.
catch you in Cougar?
In Cougar the Musical, we are at St. James Theater.
Okay.
And that's on 46th Street.
All right.
Every Friday and Saturday
Every
night.
Friday night at 8, Saturday at 2 p.m. matinee. And then I'm at the shop every day for all those young gentlemen that want to come by.
All those young gentlemen.
And that's
Specifically, young gentlemen.
That's B. Braxton's,
If you're
1400
over 40,
Fifth
boys,
Avenue.
you need not apply.
All right, B. Braxton, thank you so much. We really
so much.
appreciate
You're
your time.
amazing.
Thank
You're
you.
amazing. And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.